does not want to turn over. Wow, now it's not even turning over at all. Yeah.
There's smoke coming from the bottom. I'm not sure.
Right now, we got so close to the show, and, you know, we're also just sitting in some guy's driveway, so we're like, we're most of the way there, why don't we just flat tow it into the car show? So we hop into my cousin's truck and we go down to where this car show is, and we're like, hey, we just broke down, you know, we've got a large truck that we want to enter in the show, and we just broke down the road. Mind if we pull it in, tow it in? And, you know, they were really helpful, really excited to have, you know, something, a cool, different kind of truck. So they got us an area where we could park, an area where there was a bunch of open field, so we would have plenty of room to tow the truck in, move around and maneuver the truck and get it where we needed it to be. And, you know, once it was at the show ended at like 3 o'clock, and then we would have all afternoon to figure out how to get the truck back home. So that's what we did. We flat towed it into the car show and parked it, and I actually had a really great time at the show. I got to meet some people. I got to, you know, talk to a bunch of people about the truck, see a bunch of the cool cars and trucks that are going on. I even got an award, and also I met another group of people. They do custom fabrication work, and they have a YouTube channel. They went around and we talked for quite a while about the truck and a little bit about YouTube, and that was pretty fun. The video for that is actually their video that they made at the car show, one of their videos. This is the video that I'm actually in, is linked here, so you can go ahead and check that out. So I had a great time at the show, and during the show I was, you know, looking the engine over, checking a few different things. I kept periodically checking the battery voltage, and the voltage in the batteries did eventually go up once the batteries cooled down. And then after the show ended, I was talking to my cousin on the phone, and we were discussing how we were going to get the truck back home. So one of the big questions was whether the truck would run after being run so hot. Would it actually be able to start up again and to be loaded on a trailer so that we could bring it home? Or would we have to deal with the extra logistics of loading a truck onto the trailer that couldn't actually drive? Toward the end of the show, I tried starting the truck. I tried turning it over by hand first, and then I used the starter, and the engine did turn over smoothly. Everything seemed to be good there. Of course, it didn't start up, probably because the batteries at that point were just cooked. The voltage, as the batteries cooled down, the voltage did increase a little bit, but they were definitely not where they needed to be to start such a large vehicle. So I called my cousin up and I'm like, hey, I think this truck will start, and if it starts, we can get it to the Vermont state line. Again, to not have to deal with the weird situation of, like, you know, interstate commerce, interstate commercial vehicle travel. You have to have a tax stamp that's displayed on the door in order to drive a commercial vehicle in another state. And I don't know, we didn't want to deal with any of that. So I'm like, bring me a fresh battery, this thing will start up, and I think this thing will start up, and if it starts up, it'll at least get to the state line before it, you know, heats up to a dangerous level. So we can at least get it back into the state of Vermont. We can at least get it back over the line so that then we can go and get it on the trailer. Also, if it's running at that point, we can drive it on the trailer and not have to worry about you know, how to get it on the trailer. We had a few ideas of how to get it on the trailer if it wasn't running. but we wouldn't have to worry about that if it was actually running. So he brought down a fresh battery, and we started the truck, and sure enough, it started just fine. It ran just fine, idled fine, everything was fine with it still. Also, the brakes were still fine. So again, the brake issue is a much slower leak. So I won't know whether the brake issue has been solved until the next time I go home and try to drive the truck. But hopefully it has. And we started up the truck, we drove it. So we drove it out of that town, and we drove it to the state line with no issues. I pulled over, we got out, the truck was still idling just fine. We checked the temperatures, it wasn't overheating, and we were discussing whether we wanted to go ahead and put it on a trailer here, or if we wanted to drive it further on. I decided, since it wasn't overheating, since it was running fairly well, we may as well drive it a little bit further. Maybe we could get to a good spot where it would be easier to load it onto a trailer. So we kept going for another couple miles. I figured I would pull into one of the side roads up here and then load it on a trailer there, because I didn't want to drive it the entire way back just in case I had that overheating issue again. But I at least wanted to get it somewhere where it would be easy to load. So we drove for a while. It was actually doing fairly well until it stalled out on a hill, and it just was not wanting to restart. So we flat towed it, not even a mile, like maybe like 3,000 feet to the next side road.
I'm surprised this truck can even pull us. Okay, it's just up ahead here. Whoa. Is that alright for his truck just to... His back end just go like that, lift up on the... I feel like that ain't good for his freaking whole entire...
Probably not, but it's fine.
No, look at the size of this truck. This will crush that. I'm telling you.
We pulled onto that side road, parked the truck, and then we went to get the dump truck and equipment trailer to be able to load my truck and bring it back home.
Jump right in. I'll have you drive my truck back.
Okay. We got the truck and trailer, we drove back, we loaded the truck. We drove it back to the farm, we unloaded the truck. Yeah. No, I didn't. Or wait, on the truck, yes.
Did you what?
Yeah, I set the parking brake and it's in gear as well.
Okay. Was it rolling back and forth at all?
Not that I could see.
Okay.
And also, because the truck had been sitting so long, while we got the truck and trailer, the truck was sitting at the side road, it cooled off. The reason why it wasn't wanting to restart is it did get a little hot. It didn't get anywhere near to the level that it was before, but it was definitely a little warm on the bottom end. The oil was very warm. I think that might have been part of it. It just wasn't wanting to restart. The other thing was, of course, the batteries. That probably had a role to play in it. But I figured since the engine was already warming up and I know that it's in danger of overheating, and as long as we've got it to this place where it would be very easy to load up and, you know, take it out of there, we may as well just go get the trailer. So when we came back, the truck was able to start again and it was able to load onto the trailer. And then we drove back to the farm, we unloaded the truck, got it parked, and then we returned the dump truck and trailer. There were some issues with the brakes on the trailer. It turns out that one of the air lines on the trailer was busted, but we were able to get a temporary fix on that and be able to get his equipment back where it needed to go. And by this point, it's well into the night. It's like 9 o'clock, and I haven't even finished unloading the truck. I only took out, you know, the stuff that was absolutely necessary. I unloaded the rest of the stuff the next day. So it was a very long day, very eventful day. So it was a long week of working on the truck. It was a, you know, long weekend of working on the truck, and that day in particular was just a very long day, starting out early in the morning, getting everything ready, and we didn't get the truck and trailer back and the truck parked and everything until well after 9 o'clock. So it was just a very long day, but overall it was really fun. I was really excited, really glad that I was able to finally get the truck into a car show in the area, which is something I had been trying to do since I got the truck. It's something that I have always wanted to do, and you know, that's been the plan all along. Now there were some issues, there were some hiccups along the way, and I now have a long list of things that I need to do with the truck. I need to pull off the oil pan. I need to check to see what damage is done. I need to figure out this cooling issue. I assume that one of the water jackets is clogged up somehow, so I just need to flush it out and try and get that all unclogged. And so a lot of issues that I still need to work out with the truck, but overall I had a great time. I'm really glad that I was able to do that. I was really glad to have my cousin there to help me with that. Overall, I definitely had a great time, and that at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Come over here and stay.